Well, hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully, nobody's out there under the weather. Yeah, get this cough under control and by God, it'll be all right. No, I got on here today because you look around you, and this is rampant throughout the whole society, but mainly for the people that think they're special. I'm talking about people like actors and musicians and sports players and politicians and police and the rest of them. Okay, what I'm getting at is they're spoiled. They're like a little child. They don't get told no to. You don't say no to them. You say no to them, they're going to have a tantrum. They will have a tantrum and they will break things and yell and scream and holler and do whatever they want to do because they're a celebrity and they're better than you. Because no one says no to them. I mean, they get treated like a baby. Yes, 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 and everything's handed to them. And then the minute somebody says, well, no, oh my God, the world's come to an end, they're going to yell and scream and blah, 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 blah. We've done that. That's right. Our society has done that to them. Because we think they're special. Some of them, like an actor or a singer or athlete or somebody, yeah, they might have some natural talent, sure. But there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of talent. And the stars didn't align for them, I'll say. And they didn't make it to where they wanted to be. But that doesn't make him any less of a person. That's what always gets me is people sit here and it's like somebody like let's say some rich person. I mean, uh, Gates or Bezos or Musk or anybody like that. People are always willing to go out of their way to give them things, buy them a drink, buy them a meal, give them blah blah blah. When they can afford to, they can afford it. They can afford a lot of things. But people are always willing to go out of their way. That always seems funny to me. You see somebody that really needs the help, but they're not. They want to be stingy about it. And a lot of times they don't even want to help. You have somebody that's really down on their luck and needs some help, and if a few people helped them out, by God, they could get maybe back on their feet. But that person doesn't matter as much as someone that is ultra wealthy or someone that has a celebrity status or an elite status. Things are all screwed up, aren't they? It's no different than Jesus' day. Well, the, the I don't know, whatever the scribes, I don't know what the hell they call them, Pharisees and stuff, they all thought they were, up here above everybody. And Jesus didn't go eat with them. He went and eat with the sinners. Why? Because the sinners needs your help, say. It's not so much you have to, pray for a righteous man, because he's already righteous. He's already followed. He's aspired to the level of being a righteous person and a God-fearing person and such. So preaching to him is, well, he already gets it. Jesus went out and preached to the people that needed it. I always thought that was interesting. Is people are like, oh, why you eating with a tax collector? Well, because he's a sinner. And it's kind of funny also too that Jesus would perform miracles, and they still doubted him at times. It's like you stood right there and watched him raise somebody from the dead, or healed the cripple, or healed the blind. Hell, the apostles are in the boat out on the sea there, and it was being tossed all over the place, and they wake him up because they thought they were all going to die, and he just gets up and quiet. Knock it off. Sea calms right down, and they look at each other and go, man, who can do this? Exactly. They stood right there and witnessed it. And they still couldn't hardly believe it. How many of us could actually see some kind of miracle like that happen right before your eyes and be like, you doubt maybe your sanity. You'd be like, did that really just happen? Am I delusional? I mean, what's going on here? You know, it's like some of these people that have these, quote, near-death experiences where they died and they came back, and they all want to tell you all this and that, and I don't know if it's their imagination playing games on them, if they actually really did talk to God or Jesus. I mean, I don't know. Some of them are more credible than others. But it seems funny to me that the ones that died 20 years ago are still talking about, oh, this and that. And it's like they died 20 years ago, and God gave them a lifetime full of stuff. It's like, really? I mean, when you came back, you said, hey, I died and I saw this and that. Okay. And then they keep elaborating on more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Then you get this little kid on there that, oh, he prophesied on this. He prophesied on that last Trump thing. He prophesied on this, blah, blah, blah. And he's so wrong on his predictions, but people still watch him. Who's sicker, him or them? Or all of them? It's kind of interesting. And we wonder why we have the trouble we have today in this country, in this world, for that matter. I mean, I can't believe all the countries that we're causing trouble everywhere. And the thing of it is it's like, oh, but it's them. It's always them. It's always Russia. It's always China. It's always Gaza. It's always, Lebanon. It's somebody else. It's never us. It's not the United States. It's not us. Everybody else is. You're all smarter than that. You were in school with a bunch of little children, and that's what you're dealing with here, a bunch of little children. Escalating things, causing problems everywhere, and then like, who, us, me? Oh, we didn't do anything wrong. You're picking on us. Yeah. Just like what's going down at the border. That should have never been. It should have never happened. I'm glad to see the American people and the Governor Abbott there and some other states and stuff standing up, doing their duty to the people of this country. That's what it takes. It's taking a few strong men and women to say, hey, we're done with this. We're not putting up with your crap. And the federal government will huff and puff and this and that stuff. And the problem is, well, let's see. We're going to start a war, and Illinois, I guess, is sending troops over there to wherever. And there'll be another state, and they'll be sending troops overseas and blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to send a whole bunch of troops and stuff down to the border. And then we're going to have the center of the country partially just like, well, if we have a problem, we don't have enough people to take care of that problem. Because we sent them over here and we sent these over here, so we're kind of like exposed here. Well, that's where you, the citizen, I always like how they call you the citizen. This country's your country. If anybody's an alien here, it's them. You know, they're trying to occupy your country. That's awful funny. It's your country, and they're occupying it. Yeah. Anyways, if things start going sideways, all of a sudden, it's going to be like, oh, we're going to have to come in. The federal government's going to come in, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and blah blah blah. And of course, it won't be to your best interest. It'll be for theirs. Because if you've noticed, when anything happens, like I said, it's always someone else's fault, never theirs. And now, what is good is evil, and what is evil is good. So whatever they say and do and lie, and that's what they do a lot of, is lying, and misrepresentations, the whole 9 yards, which is lying. They want to sit here and tell you that you're not hearing what you're hearing, and you're not seeing what you're seeing. It's like, I don't know. Maybe you're at one of David Copperfield's things there when he wasn't on the airplane flying around with Epstein. There you go. There's a few names that they just kind of just don't want to let you know about. That's interesting, isn't it? It's always interesting too. Is you got people like Trump. The guy's a billionaire, all right? I mean, he's got everything he wants. He's got the money. He could buy whatever he wants. I mean, how do you bribe a guy like that? You can't. He's already got what he wants in life. He can buy life. I mean, he doesn't have to do a damn thing and just live and enjoy himself. How do you bribe someone like that? It's pretty hard to. I don't know. I don't know if you could. I suppose you could if it was the right individual, or the wrong individual, I should say. But then you got somebody like AOC comes in there. You could bribe her with a stick of chewing gum. She doesn't have nothing. Come into Congress, hey, check a chewing gum here, vote this way, and she'd do it because she doesn't have nothing. That's how. It's just like Biden. I mean, what the hell's that guy done? He's been a politician his whole life. All he knows how to do is take money and funnel money into his accounts and stuff like that. And then now, of course, he'll get away with it because he's mentally incompetent. So when they ask him questions, he'll sit there and shake and can't try him. He's incompetent. Oh, okay. He got away with it. Maybe not his kid, but him. But yeah. Basically, we got a hell of a set of affairs in just in this country, and you can't believe anything you're hearing or seeing. But at least we got some people that are standing up. And you got a few people that are having tantrums because they're told no. Because they're spoiled little brats. That's really all I got on here to say. And the other thing is, too, is like I keep saying, you got to pray for these people. You have to. You look around and go, why do I pray for that piece of garbage? Well, that's because he's a piece of garbage. And the ones that are doing the right thing, you got to pray for them and their safety and their sanity and the whole 9 yards, because I'll tell you what, it takes a lot more out of you to do the right thing than it does the wrong thing. Doing the right thing day in and day out all the time, it wears and wears and wears on you. It's easy to do the wrong thing, but you got to pray for these people. Just like the people you got some people in the FBI that are no good, and you got some that are. And that goes for all of it. I don't care, DOJ and the CIA and DOD. The list of all these acronyms just goes on and on. But you understand what I'm saying. There's some good people out there. The good people, hopefully, will wean these bad people out. That's why I love whistleblowers. Matter of fact, I got fired because I was a whistleblower. Well, you have the power to reinstate them into their job and fire the people that fired them. Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? Because someone like that's a whistleblower, you could promote them up the ranks, and they probably do you a good job, clean the mess up. They know who the bad operators are, but we don't want to do that. It's not their best interest. Well, what's the best interest for the American people? That's all that matters. It's the American people. So anyhow, y'all take care. Remember, God loves you. He does. You're his finest creation. His finest. And he loves each and every one of you. May not love the things you do. He hopes you come to him and repent. And talk to him. You don't have to be elaborate. You don't have to sit here and talk like you're just some stupid man that, has to get all pumped up going, great, omnipotent, wonderful wizard of blah, blah, genie boy. You don't have to do all that stuff with God. God gets it. He created you. He gets it. All right? He wants his place, though. His place is up here. Okay, way up here. First and foremost. That's right. He wants his place. And rightly so. It's for a reason. So, you put God first and treat your neighbors right as you want to be treated and such. And don't steal, don't lie, all the other commandments that go with it too. And by God, this world would be an all right place. It'd be like paradise, wouldn't it? Ain't that something? That's right. That's right. That will be done on earth as in heaven. It'll be paradise. So anyhow, y'all take care. We'll have another talk here soon. Got a few minutes here. Maybe I'll do another one right after this. See if I can get riled up.